All right, we are live on Facebook. We are working on live on Instagram. Just give us a few minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is our virtual wine and cupcake pairing. Bringing it home to you in 2020 because that's what we do these days. Just give us a few minutes. We're having some connection issues on the gram.
See it up on Facebook. Is it just slow?
It's just flashing on, like.
I'm gonna try to
Hey, Greg.
Load it out, load it in. We're just troubleshooting a few things. Thanks everyone for popping in on Facebook. Just give us a few minutes. I mean, we're right on the dot anyway. I'm sure everyone's just logging in. And we will get going with our virtual wine and cupcake pairing.
At it again.
All right, sweet. Welcome to Instagram. Nope, not welcome to Instagram.
Just popped up and said it started live, but then it went away.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Just, you know.
Connection is.
Look at me. Lexa's sexy dancing behind the scenes, trying to get this.
Hey, Jessica and
to work.
Joan.
I'm really
Kathy.
trying.
You know, if the Instagram doesn't work soon, we'll just cut it and call it a day. No? Is she not doing it?
She's just flashing.
All right, get out of here, Instagram. We don't care. All right. F Instagram. We're going live on Facebook. We'll post it on the gram later and on our website and on YouTube. Thank you everyone for tuning in. This is our virtual wine and cupcake pairing. We are super excited to be able to bring this to you. This is something we do in-house at our winery every year. And what it is we pair vintages of certain wines with cupcakes, and we come up with all these crazy flavor combinations, and we work with Dia Dose Cupcakes in Westchester. She won Cupcake Wars a few years back, like just when she first got started, and so creative. Like every time we come up with flavors with her, she comes back with even more out of the box ones. And Andy says, I don't know, we've been doing this for like 8 some odd years.
I think it's 8 years now.
I don't think we've ever repeated a flavor.
We have not. Actually, before we get started anymore, can everybody hear us? We apologize. If you're watching again from last week, we did have some sound issues. We were outside and there was some tool action. Gina was doing some power tool stuff out in the vineyard. So we really apologize that you couldn't hear us. If you're watching now on Facebook, if you could comment real quick and just let us know if you can hear us or not before we do anything else, just to make sure that
this pairing
our
is
voices
live
are heard.
Acoustic jam, says Greg Jones.
That would be sweet.
I'd start singing, but then everyone would leave. All right, we're crystal clear. Awesome.
We can hear?
Sweet. Thanks, Greg.
So like I said, virtual wine and cupcake pairing, everyone can hear us. All these flavors are custom made by us and Dia Dose, paired with these specific vintages of wine. Alexa's going to kind of go over the pairing how-to guide, which you all got in your little packs, and just kind of give you an idea of what to expect before we get started.
Yeah, so if you haven't already saw, we have a little instruction sheet. So pretty much we recommended that you keep your cupcakes at room temperature. If they're in the fridge, not a problem, but a lot of times the flavors are a lot better when they're at room temperature. We have 2 of the wines, the Treminette and the Moscato Rose, so it's the first and the last wine. We recommend obviously putting it in the refrigerator before. We're going to move left to right. So we will start with the Treminette and we'll talk about the wine and cupcake pairing as we go. But also, if you have any crackers with you, so in between you can cleanse your palate, some water. We do recommend 2 glasses, so obviously for the whites and then the reds. But if you don't, it's totally fine because we're moving from white to red to then a sweet wine. So that's totally fine as well. We also provided a little bit of honey in your bag, so that can be drizzled on your first cupcake. That's our spicy bee, and Rachel will go into that. But what you'll do is you'll pour your little sample vial into your first glass. And what we like to do is we'll look at the wine, we'll see the coloring, we'll swirl it around, we'll smell it, get the aroma of it. We'll sip the wine and taste it, then go to the cupcake, and then go back to the wine. That's the best way to have the most fulfilling pairing.
For sure.
Thanks, Lex.
Yeah.
So to get started, the very first wine and cayenne cupcake on your pairing. So the first one is going to be our spicy bee. That's the little yellow guy. And like Lex said, you're going to want to drizzle a little bit of that local honey on there. So the first one, we paired it with our Traminette 2019. And for those of you who are not familiar with Traminette, Traminette is a hybrid varietal, very similar to Riesling. It's a Gewürztraminer hybrid, so it's a little bit sweeter up front, drier on the finish. Really, really amazing nose here. A lot of lychee, some pineapple, a little bit fizzy as well. And we
for
like summer.
today.
Yes.
Yes, it's perfect for today.
Tropical
It's-
vacation we all
yeah.
can't have right now.
I hope some of you are sitting outside enjoying this weather.
Yeah, and this 2019 vintage is incredible. Our
Yes.
2019 whites, we've released pretty much all of them except for the Chardonnay and the Viognier so far, and last year was incredible growing season. We're super excited about this vintage if you haven't tried it yet. But that's paired with the spicy bee. So this is a lemon, turmeric, and cayenne cake with the honey drizzle. And what we did, the idea behind this pairing is the honey and lemon notes in the cupcake really complement like the honeysuckle notes, the tropical notes in the wine, and the turmeric really makes that acidity just kind of crackle and pop. And you get just that hint of cayenne with the spicy and the bee, but it's quickly transformed by that little bit of residual sugar in the Traminette. It kind of tames it, and at the same time kind of makes it feel a little more fizzy as well.
Perfect.
Beautiful, beautiful pairing together. I'm just gonna munch on this.
I love the turmeric in it. It's one of my favorite parts. And the cayenne is very, very subtle. If not to scare anybody that doesn't like heat, it is super subtle and you just barely taste it like right on the finish after you've sort of
Went
swallowed
right
it.
to the throat. That was so
Sorry.
good. So it was like chugging water, but it is subtle.
It really is. And the honey's perfect on top of it. It actually kind of makes it.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope all of you have your
That-
honey to drizzle on
That
it. 'cause it's-
compliment, that sweet and
Mhm.
Yeah,
spice
and it's a
is
nice
ideal.
little local honey. It's from Swarm Bustin out in West Grove. So, you know, support local. We try to incorporate everything we do here.
Absolutely.
We work with local vendors
Absolutely.
and our people.
That
for your
spice
people.
really makes the effervescence pop.
It really
does.
does. It's like so lively. It's like, ah!
Yes, it is. So many flavors just
Oh,
burst
man.
in.
What does everybody think? We like this one? This is one of our most popular wines, especially for this time of year.
Mhm.
It's like a wellness cupcake too,
It is.
because
it's
of like the.
It's healthy.
It's,
we'll tell,
it's a
we'll tell
healthy
each other
cupcake.
that. Sure.
It's a healthy cup.
Turmeric. Little
Lemon,
local
honey, yeah.
Mm. Oh my God.
All of
That's
these
one of my
cupcakes are
favorites.
honestly insane, and they're very unique, which is what we love about it. We always brainstorm. I think this year we brainstormed for like 6 months to come
We
up with
did.
flavor ideas.
Mhm.
We keep a list going.
We start really early and we all
Very
put
early.
in the most random things
Yeah.
we can think of and bring it together.
Anything that's off the wall because we want it to be unique. We want it to be very different.
We
We
saved
don't
your
like to
grandma's
repeat.
cupcake.
You're right. This is not vanilla with sprinkles. So we try to, we try to make it a little bit more interesting and, sort of off the wall, but more so to pair. Not every wine is going to go with a cupcake. So, we try to incorporate sort of the sweet, the spicy, the savory, a little bit of all the different flavors that you could possibly have so that they do go well with a cupcake. With a wine. And, we use different wines every year because, again, every vintage is different. Not every wine is going to go with something like this. So this is why we really do spend a lot and coming up with the flavors
and
trying.
research.
Right. It's very
so
difficult.
hard. Taste
Very
testing.
difficult doing the research
It's like
and
the
trying all
worst
different
day at
things.
work ever.
Yeah.
But also with this cupcake, then if you're thinking about food dishes to pair,
Right.
any spicy dish, Traminette goes awesome with.
Yeah,
Like
It does.
spicy
really
pad
good.
thai or anything like that too.
Like spicy Asian, like
Yeah.
Asian cuisine.
Yeah.
I love like Ethiopian food.
Yum.
So good with Traminette. So
Yeah.
So good.
I'm hungry.
I know. We gotta move to next.
Yeah. I'm going to dump this so we don't drink everything. So we're going to move on to the next cupcake, guys. And wine-wise, somebody's sitting outside and I love it. We're going to move on to the Bancroft Cabernet Sauvignon. This is 2015. We're just going to pour this in our little glass here. Do you want some?
Yeah.
I got some.
Have some of this.
Yeah, it's down.
So cupcake-wise, next one, it's the red velvet cupcake with the sort of orange frosting on it. This was a fun one to come up with.
Yeah.
This is kind of a take on like a Spanish style sangria. So this is red velvet cupcake, which was one of my favorite cupcakes that Diodose makes. And then it has a plum compote center, and then an orange frosting with a little bit of sesame seed on top, and then a little bit shaving of like a really dark chocolate, just to kind of add a little bit of that bitterness to it.
The dark chocolate we actually sold here, it was from Double Spiral Chocolate. They're very ethically sourced. It's organic, so it's definitely bitter and dark, but it pairs beautifully with this cupcake.
It definitely does. So wine-wise, this Bancroft Cabernet Sauvignon, this is actually from our second line of wine. If you guys can see this bottle here, this is a line that we actually discontinued a couple of years ago, and this is a wine that we sort of set aside just to age. And we brought it back a couple months ago. It's Alexa's new favorite wine. So we brought this back. It has aged beautifully, honestly, hanging out. We had about 50 cases or so left. It's a Cab Sauv that's a little bit lighter than our Cabernet Sauvignon Reserve. So if you're looking for like an easier drinking, more of a summer Cab Sauv, then this is really it, because it doesn't have so much of that body to it. I mean, it's definitely full bodied,
It
but
definitely has the earthy tannin
it does.
structure, but it's so smooth.
It's
so
very, very
juicy
smooth.
and fruity.
Yeah. So if you haven't tried this wine, I honestly recommend it. It's $28 a bottle, so price point is, it's a little lower than some of our reserves, so it's at a great price point, and a lot of people maybe haven't seen this or they haven't tried it because we have discontinued our Bancroft line, and it's been a couple of years. So I definitely recommend giving this one a shot because it's drinking so nicely right now.
Yeah, it's also great to give as a gift too. If you're thinking of
It's a
something
beautiful
in a
bottle.
good price point, the bottle catches your eye, but it's
Super
a
nice.
great cab, like a classic cab that a lot of people will appreciate.
Yeah. I love this red sangria cupcake. It really
It's delicious.
it accentuates the fruit in the wine.
So
when you
juicy.
get that dark chocolate, that little bitter dusting on the top, it really brings out a little more of the tannin in the wine too. It kind of makes it feel a little more round and full in the mouth. Oh, there's a lot of good flavors here. I love that orange, that little zingy. It kind of makes it the whole cab, because it is red, it is warm out,
Yeah.
and it gives it more of a refreshing quality.
It does. It absolutely does. It adds like another layer to how juicy the specific cab is.
Alexa has a lot of favorites. That's what Kathy Carter said.
Okay,
That's
Kathy.
so funny.
Yes, I do.
This one's
She
my
does.
favorite. This
She
one's my
does, but
favorite.
she just bought a case of it
I
this
did.
week and
I-
told me maybe she has a new favorite of the week. You never know. You never know.
I did
Flavor of the
convince.
week?
Yeah, I convinced my mom. I was like, "We need to get a case. There's not many left. It was great to give as gifts, but it's all myself in mind." This is one of my favorites.
Give
I'm
as a
serious.
gift
I'm
to
not
me.
lying.
I love the plum in this cupcake because I think it really pulls out the super juiciness in this cab. I don't know if you guys said that already, but
Yeah.
it's it does have a lot of juicy flavors, and the pairing all together, even the orange. You may not really think of orange with a red wine, but it's a very interesting flavor combination. And I personally love it. I think it's unique.
I think every time we try to think of a pairing, like we want something to complement each other, but we also want flavors to come alive.
Right.
So the cab is already juicy, but then with that orange zest, it brings it to
It's
a
yum.
whole other level.
Totally
It's so good.
Yeah. I'm finishing mine.
Everybody's loving it. So they're enjoying the cab.
Chocolate.
Love the orange icing.
I
My
love
favorite.
California, guys.
Kathy said her favorite, whatever's in her glass. I love that.
See, Kat, we're very similar. I do say I have a lot of favorites,
Just
but
put a drink
I
in my
promise.
hand.
Yeah, and I will be a happy camper. All right, well,
I'm gonna start pouring this.
moving on. Next, we have our Merlot Reserve 2016. This is paired with the Raz Mocha Latte Cupcake. So this is probably my favorite cupcake that we have. It's a wonderful pairing, but I would just even eat this by itself.
This is
It
my favorite cupcake. I think
delectable.
it's the best cupcake I've ever had in my life, hands down.
Woo.
And that's
Yeah.
that's a big thing to say.
Yeah.
But, I think once you try it, you may
Yeah.
agree. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Absolutely. So chocolate cake, there is a raspberry filling inside. There's a mocha ganache on top of a mocha buttercream. So with the wine, this Merlot, when we were coming up with tasting notes, I specifically remember this day we were trying it and we were all like, oh, this is so good. This is so good. We couldn't put our mind on anything. And we're like, this is a sexy wine.
It's sexy.
It is structured. It's
Ah.
silky.
That's the best way to
it's
say it.
smoky.
Mhm.
It's a sexy wine.
She'll get you laid.
This is Davide's favorite wine to make.
No wonder why.
This is Davide and Gino actually both. If you ask them what their favorite red wine is, they would absolutely say Merlot Reserve. And I feel like Merlot is one of the least popular red wines. Would
It's
you guys
overlooked.
have to?
I feel like
I think
it's
it is overlooked
for
a
its
lot.
complexity.
Sometimes Merlot can be like not as much structure, and it can be
Mhm.
super fruity and kind of flabby.
Right.
But our Merlot is very powerful, and
is.
it ages incredibly.
Yeah.
I love the structure of our Merlot. I love the smokiness it has, that like hint
Yeah.
of chocolate, the nice developed fruit, but it's not a fruit bomb. It's just a beautiful,
so beautifully
beautiful
structured.
Merlot.
Yeah, absolutely. So with this pairing, what's really nice is the raspberry filling complements like the black currant notes within the wine. It kind of, the raspberry brightens it up. Those fruit notes, and then the mocha, there is hints of mocha within
There
the
is.
Merlot.
Absolutely.
So they complement each other really well.
Mhm.
It adds to like an earthy and nuttiness in the tannins,
Oh my god!
and the
get out of
cake, like the sweetness lengthens the finish. So it's just
here. You're
What do you
right.
guys think? Does anybody like this
You're
one?
right, Michael. This cupcake is
Whoa.
low.
Yeah. Well,
explain the
for sure.
the chocolate
Party.
cake. Isn't it vegan?
yeah, so the chocolate cake is
Yeah.
completely vegan. It's not purposely to be vegan, but Thais, the cupcake maker at Diadose, it's like her go-to, I guess, chocolate recipe.
Yeah.
So I think all of her chocolate cupcakes are vegan, which is great for everybody that's vegan out there, but you would never know. It's so delicious and so moist.
Mm-hmm.
You probably would never guess that, but her chocolate cupcakes are out of this world, by far the best I think I've ever had. It's pretty impressive, the things that she's able to come up with, and the flavor ideas. When we reach out to her every year, she never shies away from anything we say.
No.
Ever. She embraces it, and she's like, or we could do this, and I have all these other ideas. And it's like she's got something different for us every year, which we love.
And even decorating. Carly, the owner, her daughter's birthday, she was like, I want ladybugs and superheroes and chickens and like everything. And she was like, let's do it. Let's do it.
Done.
Yeah, chicken superhero birthday.
Yeah.
Done, for sure.
Wow.
But yeah, this is
that was
so
incredible. Oh my god.
That
Is
it's
that
a
one
perfect
cold?
pairing.
This is cold.
Okay,
yeah.
we'll pour from that one.
Alright. So the next up, or the last one on your listy list, is our Moscato Rosé partnered with the Italian Afternoon.
Thank you.
And so our Moscato Rosé, one of more of our sweeter guys, it's more of a semi-sweet, 100% Moscato D'Amburgo, and it's naturally sweet. We don't add any sugar. What we do is, you pick those grapes in September, and they're just like candy off the vine. We're just popping them and eating them and getting yelled at, put it in the lug. We gotta make some wine, but it's delicious.
Still gotta make fun.
But again, no sugar added, and you get a lot of those candied watermelon notes in here.
Absolutely.
Tropical fruits, and again, a little bit of effervescence. This is a very beautiful wine. This is also from the 2019 vintage, too.
It's clean, it's sweet, but it doesn't have that thick, syrupy consistency to it.
You don't get like a sugar rush or like
You
that
don't.
headache after.
And it's,
It's gorgeous.
It's incredibly
it is.
refreshing.
It's refreshing. It's a more of like almost like a palate cleansing wine. It's great for sitting outside on a hot day. Today's perfect for it. Very similar to the Traminette because it is sweeter and refreshing, but it's not over the top sweet that you can't sit back and drink a whole bottle of it.
Yeah, even if
you
you're
can
not a
easily
sweet,
do that.
yeah, even if you're not a sweet
Yeah.
wine drinker, you can really appreciate this one. It's like
For sure.
just having really ripe, fresh fruit in the summer. That it's perfect.
Well, like you mentioned,
dessert.
Davide and Gino's favorite red. This Moscato is hands down Gino's favorite wine, period.
It is.
Like 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10.
Always.
Like, always drinking Moscato.
Mhm.
I don't know when the last time I've seen him drink anything else.
Sometimes Traminette. You wouldn't think it, but he always goes for the sweeter wines when he comes
Yeah.
in. For sure.
They're just so well done. But anyway, we paired that with the Italian Afternoon. So anyone, if you've been to Europe, if you have an Italian grandma or in Spain, what you do for her in the afternoon, like just a little appetizer, a really freshly honeydew cantaloupe wrapped in prosciutto. So that's kind of the inspiration behind this cupcake. It is a melon cake with a lime buttercream, and it's topped with a little bit of crispy prosciutto and just a little sprinkle of sea salt to get some of that more savory characteristic in there. So the green melon just makes the watermelon and tropical notes in this cupcake set on fire. It's like
Love
a
it.
firecracker of flavor.
Do you think
out of
that each
control.
cupcake, like there's a burst of flavor, and then you get to this one, and they don't even compare? This
Well, when
is
you try the wine after you've
it's like
had it,
lightning.
It's
yeah.
fireworks.
It really changes the flavor. But this is one for sure that you definitely don't think to have a sweet item with a sweet wine. Sometimes that can clash. So that's why when we pair a cupcake with a sweeter wine, we like to add that savory aspect. So the salt, and then you have a little bit of that crispy prosciutto. So it brings in multiple different flavor aspects, and it's honestly delicious with the wine. It's not too sweet.
No,
No,
it tones down the
It
sweeter
does.
notes.
Mm-hmm.
It really does, and like the lime zest comes through, the saltiness pops the effervescence.
Right.
It
just,
does.
oh.
And brightens the acidity. It's just
Yeah.
like crackle, crackle, crackle. I love this wine. I love this cupcake. I'm just gonna take it
I do
straight
too.
to the
I'm
face
normally
now.
not into sweet wines that much, but
Mhm.
this combination, or any combination that is very similar, even eating melon with prosciutto would be awesome with this. Not just a
Right.
cupcake inspired by it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not so much into sweet wine, it's just something different to try, and it's just very, very refreshing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying with the traminette. Then you can think about pairing it with spicy dishes,
Right.
and then even like the merlot, like a nice dry rub on
For sure.
steak or something like that.
Yeah, anything crispy, salty. We always say Moscato is the perfect brunch wine. You get your
Yes.
pancake, you get your bacon, you
Bacon.
get your Moscato, and you get it down.
That always comes to life when we talk about Moscato or Moscato Rose. It's brunch. You always bring out the brunch.
Brunch, breakfast,
Ugh,
whatever you want to go for.
anything you can
Talking about
talk your
waffles
way
and
into drinking that early.
Give me some brunch, damn it. Anyway, so that's our pairing. If you have any questions, just pop in, direct message. We are clearly always happy to talk about
Right.
Yeah.
it. And we are so excited to be able to welcome you all back to the vineyard next week.
Next week,
Yes.
yes. So if you haven't heard yet, we are opening next Friday, the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very soft. We're just really getting into this. So we will have our outdoor space open only. We're not allowed to really open our tasting room yet. We'll still continue doing curbside pickup, deliveries if needed. But we'll have our outdoor area open, and we'll be doing bottle service only. We're not cranking up tastings yet. We're not cranking up wine by the glass. But at least you can come hang out with us, sit outside. Reservations will be required. We're not taking reservations until Monday, which is the 8th.
At 10:30.
At 10:30.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of things that we've been putting in place to get everything ready before all this. So don't call us until 10:30 on Monday, and then we'll gladly take a reservation for you. If you're a wine club member, we're having a soft opening on Thursday. Also, reservations required.
You'll get an email about that tomorrow.
You're gonna get an email, yep.
Yeah.
And the hours for that are just going to be from 3 to 7, just so you guys can kind of come out and hang out with us before we full-blown open on Friday. But our hours are going to be Sunday through Thursday from 12 to 6, and then Friday and Saturday 12 to 7. We're super excited. We're glad to get back at it. We want to see all of our people, all of our customers, our club members. Our staff is ready to get back into the routine of things. So
Yeah. The most important things.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
The most important things haven't changed. So bring a picnic, bring dogs,
Right.
bring kids, things like that. Obviously, we're gonna have bottle service. We're happy to see you, but there will be some different changes, and we'll
Right.
let you all know with that confirmation email and your reservation. So bear with us, but we cannot wait to see you.
yeah, we're excited. We have a limitation currently. This will change at some point, but we're not taking any groups over 6. These are all just measures put in place for the safety of everyone, our staff, our customers. So we're taking every measure possible to make sure that everybody's safe and can have an enjoyable experience while you're here. So we're super excited. We also have a lot of other fun event type things, not events, but like more so virtually, things that we're offering for things coming up that Rachel's going to chat about.
So, just because we're opening back outside doesn't mean we're going to stop curbside pickup or local delivery, for the people who aren't quite ready to get back out there. And like Andy said, we still have a ton of fun virtual events coming
Right.
up. Next Wednesday, we are doing a library virtual with Davide, and we're going to go through and talk about some of our older vintages, answer any of your questions about cellaring and aging, and we're working on something really special on our website in relation to that, which I don't want to spoil, but it's coming. We're super
It's
pumped.
gonna be so cool.
We also have our Father's Day package. If you haven't seen that already, we're working with 2 local vendors. Righteous Felon Beef Jerky in Westchester. He makes the most rowdy,
He does.
Um,
They're awesome.
almost illegal flavors. And you can pick some of that up for Dad. We're also working with Pearson Jeffries. They have been in business for decades. They're a cigar shop in Springfield, and we're going to go live with them as well, talking about wine and cigar pairing, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
There's some really beautiful red wines that go well with some of his really beautiful hand-rolled cigars.
Yeah.
We got some samples, and they're gorgeous.
My father this morning thought we were doing like a virtual cigar
Pairing, like
with the wine.
smoking cigars and
And I was
drinking
like, where
wine.
did you get that from? And
No,
No, it's more so a package deal. So it's like
Yeah.
a one-stop shop, so
Yeah.
you can get all your Father's Day gifts here because we have golf shirts, we have hats,
Yeah.
we have all sorts of really cool things.
perfect package.
We know
It's
it
all
does.
on our website.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
like a Father's Day tab on our shop
Mhm.
that has everything up there. So if you're searching for Father's Day gifts, we gotcha.
So we have that happening, and then we have our 4th of July,
Right?
Yeah.
our red, white, and barbecue. We got some, we're partnering with Hill Acres Pride. They are a family-owned farm out in Lancaster, and you will be able to pre-order a limited amounts of their organic, or not organic, their farm-raised, grass-fed beef burgers, and
Yeah.
we have 2 different kind of brats. One of them is a beer brat made with Lancaster Brewing Stout.
Stout, yeah.
It's incredible. So
And
again,
the cheddar brats.
and the
too.
cheddar brats too. Those are available for pre-order on our website. Again, limited quantities, but they are so delicious, farm fresh. Again, super local.
All pre-order. These are all pre-order items that are on our
Yes.
website because we have to get them first and then have them available. So lots of fun things coming up. We have some questions real quick
Yeah.
that I want to answer. Leslie says, do you make a bigger cupcake of the Raz Mocha? For sure. I don't know if this is a flavor that she has on the reg, but Thais at Diodose, she has like flavors of the week. Guarantee you, if you called and put in a request, she would probably gladly
Yeah.
feature it.
And
And
she'll
she
know
could do
about
them,
it too. If
yeah.
you wanted to make an actual order, I'm sure she will know this cupcake.
For sure.
Like the back of her hand.
Yeah, she could definitely. I'm not going to promise, but I feel very certain that she could do it. And then Lynn asked when live music will be back. We're not quite sure yet. We want to really kind of get back into our groove first and see how things go. We are going to be operating at limited capacity. You know, we're not going to be able to open and go full blast yet. So for right now and probably for the remainder of June, we won't have live music. And then after the first week or 2 of getting back into this, we're going to evaluate, see how everything is, and then possibly start bringing it back in July.
There's just
So
a lot of
one-
moving parts.
yeah,
and we're
one
just
step
There
at a
are
time.
one step at a time. But when we do decide to add it, we will absolutely have it posted on our website. We'll put it on our social media so that everybody knows. But for right now, we have a Bose speaker that we'll put out. We'll definitely be playing some tunes.
Any recommendations?
Chicken request.
Yeah, anything you want. We can't wait to have some of our favorites back here.
I know.
Greg Jones, I hope you're still watching. We're like dying to get you back,
I
and I'm
know.
sure a lot of our customers are dying to have you back too.
Yes.
But we want to have music just as bad as you guys do,
Yes.
but we want to sort of like get our feet wet first, figure out how everything is going to work, and then we'll slowly start adding things back. We are starting for sure. We had some questions. Our yoga classes in July. I think July 12th will be the first one, and we're going to have a few in July, August, and September. It's going to be a little different if you've done it before. The price will be lower. It won't include a wine tasting or a cheese plate just because we're not offering that last night, but you can at least come out and do yoga, hang with us, get a discount on wine and a souvenir wine glass. So we're trying to get some of these favorite events and things back, and
Yeah.
we'll get there slowly but surely.
We're working really hard
We are.
to be as normal as possible
We are.
and get there.
I think that's all the questions, but
That's
so
it, yeah.
Thank you everyone for joining us. We're super excited to have you here joining us for the wine and cupcake pairing. If you jumped in halfway through, a recording of this will be up on our website, on YouTube, and since we couldn't get Instagram to work, we'll put it up on Instagram as well. But again, as you're going through us, let us know your thoughts on these cupcakes.
For sure.
We're super excited to do it. We appreciate your feedback, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks guys so
Thanks for
much.
participating.
We'll see you at the vineyard
I'm
soon.
gonna sneak up here.
Turn it off.